Welcome to this episode of Game Theory. My name is Ramji and I'm here to introduce you to the wonderful world of Dungeons & Dragons. For those of you who may not be familiar, Dungeons & Dragons, also known as D&D, is a role-playing game that involves creating and playing the role of a character in a fantasy world. It's a collaborative game that requires the participation of at least one Dungeon Master and a few players. The first step in setting up a D&D game is to gather a group of friends who are interested in playing. Next, you need to decide on the setting of your game. This can be a traditional fantasy world, or a post-apocalyptic wasteland, or a modern-day city. The options are endless. Many different stories and settings have been adapted to work with the D&D system. The Dungeon Master will then create a story or adventure for the group to play through. This can be something that the DM has prepared in advance, purchased from official sources, downloaded from the internet from the many people in the community who share their adventures for other people to use, or it can be something that's created on the spot, a homebrew adventure. In order for players to play in the adventure, each players then have to create a character, which can be one of many fantasy races: humans, elves, dwarves, dragonborn, trolls. Almost anything can be played, and if it can't, your Dungeon Master might let you do it anyway. Characters have different attributes such as strength, intelligence, charisma, wisdom, dexterity and constitution, and these are determined by rolling dice. They're determined at the beginning of the game, and then your character has those attributes but can improve them as you do things in the game. Players can also choose a class for their character: a wizard, a fighter, a cunning rogue, or an angry barbarian. There are many classes, and within those classes there are many styles of playing the class. They all have their own unique abilities and allow you to play the game with a particular style, and if you don't like it, well, you can change it. During the game, the Dungeon Master will describe the scenes and situations the characters find themselves in, and the players will decide how their characters will respond. Players can use their characters' skills and abilities to overcome challenges, solve puzzles, defeat monsters, or convince non-player characters to maybe just look the other way or give them a great deal. The Dungeon Master will use dice to determine the outcome of certain actions, and so will players. Whether you hit an enemy in combat or whether you succeed at a difficult task. You'll roll a 20-sided dice. The higher the number, the better. And maybe the Dungeon Master will roll one too to see whether the person that you're trying to trick or confuse or vault over is able to do anything about it in response. I hope this brief overview has given you a good idea about what Dungeons & Dragons is all about. At least enough to let you sit down at a table and begin an adventure. If you're interested in learning more, there are plenty of resources available online and, of course, in stores. But, although I'm a bit biased, I might suggest you hit subscribe and watch out for our next video. Thanks very much for watching, and whether you're a seasoned veteran or a complete beginner, Dungeons & Dragons is a fun and exciting game that can be enjoyed by people of all ages. It's a collaborative, storytelling game where you build a world together with other players and then inhabit it. It's a wonderful way to share an experience and an adventure with your friends, and I hope you have a great time playing D&D. Thanks for watching.